Excellent. Thank you so much for opening up the call today. And guys, welcome to our community solar deep dive training. This is Nick D'Amico, your VP of Sales. It's good to be with all of you here on this very, very special event where we're going to go deep dive training into community solar, what it is, how it works, the benefits for the customer, and the benefits for you as the consultant. So ladies and gentlemen, we have people from all over the country on with us right now. We are live on Zoom. We are live on Facebook. And what I want to do to get this kicked off is, and Debbie, if you'd let me share my screen, that'd be great, please. What I want to do is introduce to each and every one of you a lady that is absolutely pivotal to the future of Vive. She's doing an incredible job of, really her role as Vice President of Business Development. Debbie Lee, if you'd let me share my screen, that'd be great. Thank you. She is doing an incredible job being the Vice President of Business Development here at Vive. She has tons and tons of experience out there. She is actually coming to you live from Salt Lake City. And I'm not going to steal her thunder. She's actually in Salt Lake City right now. I'm not going to steal her thunder and tell you what she's doing right now. I'm going to let her do that. Oh, there we go. All right, excellent. Now we're on. So I'm not going to steal her thunder. She's going to tell you exactly what she's doing out there, but she's going to get into exactly what community solar is, how it works, why it's beneficial for customers, and then I'm going to get into at the end what's in it for you as the consultant. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce everybody to our VP of Business Development, Ms. Tammi Stroud.
Hey everybody, he did steal a little of my thunder. I'm in Salt Lake City, Texas girl in Salt Lake City. I see lots of Texas on the board here. Galveston, I love Galveston, my hometown. Houston, I'm a Dallas girl. I'm in Salt Lake City today and tomorrow at the SolarCon, the big solar conference, networking, talking to new potential partners, a lot of very, very, very good conversations happening about the future of what we can give to you, provide to our customers. And so more to come on that, of course. Lots of conversations here around community solar as well. So really good timing for me to be hopping on and giving you the deep dive, get through, a little bit more in depth on what it is you guys are out offering, what it is you can offer to your clients, how it is that you're helping them. Which is what we do. Every one of these products that we line up for you is just another way that we find some savings in some way to help these clients. And then Nick will go through how it benefits you. It's a huge, huge, huge win-win. So community solar is one of those products that I love because it stumps you a little and you wonder, what's the catch? It's that good. And so I will talk a little bit more in depth about the specifics on it, and why you would choose community solar, why your clients should listen up and go through the enrollment process with us. Access to solar is typically an expensive thing. So these panels are not cheap. There's big installations that come with that and upfront costs, but community solar is free to the customer. So you're not installing any equipment. It's access to these panels and the energy that's generated from these panels without any upfront fees, no installations. You get the guaranteed savings on your monthly energy bill, just like you would if you were generating your own solar power with the panels. You're reducing your carbon footprint. That is so important to so many these days. And then you're stimulating your local economy because these solar panels are set up in these local communities near you, near the other homes and the clients that can take advantage of these. And when they build these, it's a win-win, for everyone in your area. It's creating jobs. It's putting more green energy back into your grid. So how does it work? These solar panels are installed on a site in your community within proximity to you. They call it a solar field or a farm. The size of these farms typically varies. So of course, the more property that's devoted to this farm, the more solar power they can generate there on the farm, and then the more capacity they have to offer to homes and businesses in the area. So community members subscribe to this local community project, this local farm, and they receive a portion of the energy, the green energy that's generated from this farm that offsets the power that they've been paying for through their utility. This clean energy is generated at the site, it flows into the local power grid, and then, of course, they receive their share of the solar credit for something as simple as simply enrolling and taking advantage of that. So next slide, Nick, please. The availability of community solar is a little bit of a tricky thing now. We have solar, community solar available to you in all markets where customers are currently able to take advantage of community solar. Typically, a market is able to take advantage of solar because local legislation is supportive of these. They're offering, you know, tax credits or stimulation to these developers to come in and build these fields. There's a local demand for it. Customers are a little more savvy on what the benefits are and how to do the enrollment. Capacity of existing community solar farms. So the capacity of each farm is finite, meaning, you know, you have these panels installed, and if they generate enough power for, you know, to provide 10% savings to 100 homes, once you have 100 homes, you have to build a new project or find a new source for that solar. And that's really what's determining the location of these farms at this point. There's so many being built now across all the states. I mean, where there is supportive legislation, these things are going up like crazy. Where there's land, these things are going up like crazy. Washington, D.C. is one of those markets where it's a little landlocked. It's been tough, but again, they're working through all of these. The community solar availability, we typically speak to the availability in terms of the local utility, the electric utility, because that's where these projects are tied into the grid. And so we've got a list of the states. We've got 8 states where we have participating utilities right now. In most cases, most of the utilities are participating, or there is at least one project available there in that utility area. We have a partner now to our advantage that does what we call partner consolidated billing. And you can see here on the list of the participating utilities that we offer, there's really only one that doesn't participate in that consolidated billing. We'll talk a little bit about more about that later, but basically when you enroll with this community solar provider, you are combining your utility bill with that provider so that the credits are being applied directly to your bill, and you're paying one bill every month to keep it very clean, very streamlined. So huge advantage to the customer here. It's much less confusing. The savings percentage that's guaranteed differs across the farms. It's typically dependent on the capacity. And so Colorado, 5%, you can see a lot of these guys are at 10%. Where it mentions LMI, that is low to medium income, which is determined by the utility. If a customer enrolls and the utility determines that they meet a low to medium income requirement, then they receive an additional kicker in some of these markets like Massachusetts and New Jersey, which make these great markets to go into and help. Contract details, this provider, another huge benefit is that there are no cancellation fees. If your customer gets sick of all these credits and this guaranteed savings, they are welcome to drop this product at any time that they want. I can't imagine that anyone will, but they can. No cancellation, no fee, no early termination at all. We do have a minimum usage requirement of 1,500 kilowatts per year. It's very hard to find anyone who uses less than that, but that is the requirement for enrollment. So the coming soon markets, I see some questions around coming soon markets. We've got 9. These guys are all currently in development with new community solar projects, or they have projects that have been built that are now being tested, tying into the grid, those kind of things. And so as those are released by our provider, we immediately get those released to you, to the field. So we'll continue to keep you updated on those. Okay, what about billing? We've had a ton of questions about this. Our existing customer base has had questions on this. So community solar billing, I touched on a little. Consolidated billing with our provider means that you will get one bill. We'll walk through the enrollment process here shortly, and it'll be much clearer. But you are tying your utility bill in with the provider so that the credits are there, your utility bill is being paid, and it's all very streamlined so that you can see the credit, you can see the reduction on your bill, and you're not receiving credits through a different provider that then have to be applied over on the utility side. It's a very clean process. Our vendor's auto pay requirement takes the guesswork out of the customer paying their bill. There's no question around whether or not they might be getting double billed, for example, billed through the provider. But also billed from the utility. The utility works directly with our provider to make sure they're providing invoicing going forward directly to the provider. So it is a very clean process. So why choose Vive for community solar? We are taking the guesswork out of finding that supplier that suits your needs. We've got strategic contracts and partnerships with a number of these community solar vendors. I have to make sure it's my job, make sure I'm staying on top of providing options to you, making sure we have this available to as many customers as we can, and where we might be running low on capacity in a specific area, then we have a backup. We have another provider that maybe has access to a community solar farm or development that was not previously accessible. And so I continue to work through those, keep those available to the team and get those integrated. So you will also be seeing the benefit of that for months to come. That won't stop. As we get more capacity, as we get more providers and more areas are released, you'll continue to reap the benefit of that. And more contracts means just more opportunity for more of our customers to get guaranteed savings on their bills, especially at a time when electric prices are through the roof. I think we're probably all feeling that. Texas has been really just outrageous, and it is a way where we can control giving value to our customers on the side of their electric bills. It's a great product. The process for enrollment is very simple and very hassle-free. So if a customer expresses interest to you or to us in the community solar, they go through our checkout and they select the community solar product on your personal website. Our team receives the enrollment, determines eligibility, make sure the area is one, that utility area where we can provide the service based on location. We search to make sure we give them the best available option for the guaranteed discount. And we send them the communication that gives them the link to finalize their enrollment. We do it this way for a few reasons. There's two main pieces of information that our customers are going to have and able to enroll in the community solar project. And one is their utility logon information. Each customer has or can create a logon for their local utility. That has to be provided to our utilities, our community solar provider, so that we can get that billing and invoicing all integrated into one consolidated bill. If the customer does not have that information or has never set that information up, during their enrollment process, it will give them a link to request that information directly from their provider. And so it's very easy when they're going through the process to get that information. The second piece of information that they're going to need is their payment information, their payment method. It is required to have auto pay set up so that we can consolidate the bill, take the guesswork out of applying these credits, making sure the timing is correct for getting that utility bill paid. And so they'll need those two pieces of information, or at least the piece of information on payment, because they can request their utility information during the enrollment process. And so then the customer's community solar service becomes qualified once that information is entered and submitted and you get paid. So very, very simple. We spend a lot of time on our side too, making sure we follow back up with your customers. If they were missing a piece of information or confused on how to request that utility logon information, we do reach out with multiple touch points to provide answers to any questions they might have, to walk them through that, to remind them that we've got this incomplete enrollment and they can't take advantage of the savings until they get it complete. And really they're risking the capacity not being available if there are other enrollments that fill up the capacity on that solar farm. So we make sure we get with them with some sense of urgency to complete enrollment. So the enrollment process guide here, I love this tool. It looks so great and it's so intuitive. Our team, our support team, sends this to each customer that enrolls. When we send them the link for enrollment, we go ahead and send them this enrollment guide so that it's very clear to them exactly what they're going to need and where they go, where they should be looking for the information to complete their enrollment. So they open the email or text from our support team and they click a link that's provided that directly goes into our provider's enrollment engine. Step 2 is that they're going to enter their service address and select utility so that they can further qualify the address is available for a community solar project. name, email address, typical contact information. They create a password to have an account that they can log back into at any time to complete enrollment from that step. Step 3 is to provide that utility logon information or payment information, and they're done. So very, very easy. We've got some information there on the same guide that gives frequently asked questions like, what if I can't find my logon? Why do they need my payment information? We try to make it very, very clear for the customer so they understand why these things are being asked, and make it very clear that they are required for the customers to ultimately take advantage of the savings. Okay. So in a nutshell, this is how the enrollment process works. This is how our relationship with the vendor works so that we can provide the value. And Nick will speak directly to the resources available to you all in the back office, and then how this affects your checkbook, which is a big question too. So Nick, thank you for allowing me to come on tonight and talk to everybody. I've enjoyed it, and I'm ready for questions at the end.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tammy.
Of course.
Yeah, I appreciate you hopping on. And guys, you know what's crazy? I was thinking about this while Tammy was training. You know, we talk about her in every presentation that we do, don't we? You know, every presentation that I do on Wednesday night, every presentation that we do for the company. And I always say that she's behind the scenes working on things, don't I? And so that the proof of that is right now she's at a national solar conference, just so happens to be at the exact same time as our solar deep dive training. I mean, that's ironic. We did not plan that. Actually, it's kind of funny that happened. So, and here's the thing, guys, I want you to give her a huge thank you in the chat for hopping on with us, taking time away from that conference, stepping out of meetings to really get to her hotel room, hop on a laptop and do this training for each and every one of you out in the field. So let's give her a big round of applause and thanks in the chat. Look at that love coming through. That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Tammy, for your time. Appreciate you. So guys, now we get to talk about the exciting stuff. I know that seemed like a lot of information that Tammy went over, but we had to go through it. Why? Because a lot of people have had questions, right? We basically covered every single question that we've received since we launched Community Solar a couple of weeks ago, right? And so we wanted to get this documented. We want to get those questions answered for you so that you can have a solid foundation and do what? Go to work. Go get community solar customers. So I want to tell you guys a little story real quick before I get into the resources and the comp plan. It's kind of interesting. So as you all know, we did a Saturday summit about 3 weeks ago, I believe, up in Natick, Massachusetts, right? Just outside of Boston. And it's crazy because on Sunday morning, the day after the Saturday summit, myself and Tom Schmidt, the CEO and owner of Vive, we had to drive about 30 minutes to go meet Mr. Kevin Marino, top leader here in Vive, for a breakfast meeting. Okay, so we get up early, we leave the hotel, we get in the car, and we start driving to meet up with Kevin. On the way to this meeting, it was about 30 minutes away, on the way, on the highway, I swear, we passed about 50 solar farms in Massachusetts, just on that one highway, driving 30 minutes, not even, to get to this meeting. I don't know where we went, but it was a town about 30 minutes away. And so guys, it opened my eyes. I was like, holy cow, this stuff is real. It's happening. I mean, literally on every exit. You know how you got those, what are they called? Cloverleaf exit things up north, right? We don't have them here in Florida, but you've got those cloverleaf exit things. I don't know why they do that, because it snows up there and that's really hard to navigate when it's snowing. But anyways, in between every single one of those cloverleafs, on every exit we passed, there was a solar farm. I swear, there was like these sections of hundreds of panels that were just sitting there. And we were like, oh my God, look, and we were pointing it all. And we were like yelling, we're going to make money on all of those panels. Okay. And that's exactly what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, if you go out and talk about this to the marketplace. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the resource and the comp plan. So let's get into it. So here's the resources for Community Solar. We provide in corporate, we provide you with everything you need to know to be able to bring this to the market and sell these services, okay? You can share the enrollment link through your outreach app. That's the best way to do it, guys. You can share your enrollment link through the outreach powered by Rapid Funnel app. Why is that so powerful? Because you know if your prospect clicked on it. You know if your prospect clicked, I mean, that to me is absolutely gold, okay? So you can share it through your outreach app, or you can simply share your replicated website that's assigned to you or that's given to you You decide what your web alias is when you enroll as a consultant with Vive, but you can share that replicated website with your potential customers. And then in addition to that, we provide all of the resources in terms of education for you and education for the customer in your back office when you become a consultant. You can find this in either the Outreach app under in the resource library, right? Or you can also find this in your virtual office in the resource library as well. So both tools, your replicated site, your back office, and then your Outreach app will have everything you need to be able to bring this to the market, guys. And here's what it looks like in the back office. Okay. What's crazy is these slides that we're going over right now, by the time we're done with this training, our director of communications, Ms. Debbie Lee Flores, will have uploaded these slides you're seeing right now into your virtual office. Okay. All you got to do is go to the resources tab, go down to resources library, and click on training. And these slides right here that we're going over right now will be in there for each and every one of you for reference for either education on community solar and or education on as a consultant on how you get paid. So let's get into that now. Who's excited about getting paid? Give me some ones or some dollar signs, or give me something in the chat box, guys. There you go, Keith. I love he's got the tongue out with the dollar sign, right? So guys, let's get into community solar commissions. I think everybody's pretty excited about this part. Okay, money, here we go. So community solar commissions. There is excellent upfront earning potential. We love upfront earning potential, don't we? I love it when you guys get upfront bonuses for doing such little work. And ladies and gentlemen, understand this. We will do 95% of the work for you. All you have to do is get people to go to your site and click community solar. That's it. Go to your site and click community solar. We will do the rest of the work for you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. There's ongoing points that you're going to receive. So not only upfront pay, but ongoing points and residuals, okay, from those points. And then there's even a higher earning potential for commercial accounts. Again, I always say this in my presentations, the higher the bill, the bigger the bill, the bigger the savings, the bigger the commission, right? That's exactly the case here with community solar. So let's get into the details of how this works. All right, so upfront bonuses. Let's go down the left side here real quick. Okay, upfront bonuses for a residential community solar account. We are going to give you, as the referring consultant, $150 for entering a qualified community solar lead. Okay, we're also going to throw $50 into the power team. What's the power team? Well, just to clarify that for some of you that are new, it's where you start getting paid on the efforts of other people. That is the beauty of what we do in network marketing, right? Where you get to make money off the efforts of other people. They do what you do and you get paid on that. So $50, what that means is into the power team, you're going to get paid on the first 3 levels beneath you. And then when you hit pace setter, you're going to get paid unlimited underneath pace setter. Okay. And then when you hit silver partner, that's going to go to you as well. So there's 5 levels. First 3 levels, and then the pace setter level, and then the silver partner level. Okay, so that's what a power team is in a nutshell. If you want more information on that, refer to our detailed compensation plan document. Next, that's for residential. Next, let's talk about commercial, medium-sized commercial. All right, for medium-sized commercial, you're going to receive a $500 upfront bonus for entering a qualified community solar commercial account. Okay, that's huge. And then we're going to throw $100 in the power team for that. Now, when it comes to a large commercial account, okay, we're going to pay you even more. Again, bigger the bill, bigger the savings, bigger the commission. We're going to give you 30% of revenue that Vive collects. All right, for referring that business, and we're also going to throw in another $100 to the power team. Okay, so there is huge earning potential here with community solar. And guys, again, Vive is the only network marketing company I know of in the industry that is doing community solar right now. Okay, there might be a few of them trying to pop up here and there, but ladies and gentlemen, we are ahead of the charge. We are the general of this industry right now, and we are leading the charge with this incredible service. Now, let's talk about the residuals. Let's talk about the back end, because that's why you're doing this business, right? You want to build a long-term residual. Well, for residential community solar accounts, we're going to give you 4 points. the referring consultant, we're going to give you 4 points, and then we're going to throw 4 points to the power team. Okay. For commercial, we're going to give you 10 points. All right. And you're also, and keep in mind, all of those points add up in your network. Okay. So no matter who in your team, no matter how many levels they are down from you, you are going to get paid on all of that in the form of points. Okay. So get your team excited, get them out there, signing up community solar customers, because these points for signing up one community solar customer last for 24 months, ladies and gentlemen, 24 months. That is unbelievable. Okay, so let's get out there and let's make this happen. So guys, that is pretty much the wrap up of how community solar works, how it works for the customer, how it works for you as the consultant, and what's in it for you. I don't know if we want to open it up right now to any questions. If Tammy wants to come back on, and let me open up my chat here. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, actually, this is a great question, Tammy. Let me stop my share here real quick so we're both on. Debbie Lee, can you highlight us both, please? Let's talk about this. Here's a great question. What is considered a medium or a large commercial community solar account? Good question, Stephen.
Okay, yeah, no, that is a great question, and that is determined by the individual community solar project, unfortunately. So because of capacity requirements, where some of these developments have more usage available for these big commercial projects, they might say, we're deeming you can only do small to medium, and it's going to fall into this range. So unfortunately, we don't have that defined. It's not that cut and dried, but they do let us know very quickly once the project is, or the account is accepted. They let us know that it falls into the medium or large category whenever they pull the information from the utility on the usage.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that, Tammy. All right, another question. When do the points become active? That's a great question. When does it become a qualified community solar customer?
Okay, so I can't speak to points, but I can speak to when it becomes a qualified customer. So once the customer is we call it qualified, once they have gone through enrollment, it is determined that they are in a location that is active for community solar, there's capacity available, and the customer has completed those 2 major pieces of information, right? Their utility log on, they provided that in their accounts, and they've also put in their payment information. Once that's all put in, and the utility picks up the account, which takes typically a max of 2 business days, it's considered qualified and ready to go. So the customer is then just pending enrollment through their end, but it's considered qualified and payable, and you're getting paid on that.
There you go. And that's exactly when the points kick in, when that customer becomes a qualified customer. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Another question we have is, the 5 to 10%, is that just the energy side of the bill, or is it the whole bill? I think they're referring to the savings that's earned from community solar. Yeah, so that 5 to 10% savings is for the energy charges. And so the bill is comprised of, you've got your distribution charges from the utility, and you've got your energy, your actual usage charges. Unfortunately, there's nothing anyone can really do on that distribution charge side. That's a utility charge that allows them to maintain the lines, essentially, because no matter what supplier you have for electricity, that local utility is still maintaining your lines. And so that fee is theirs. Electricity usage is what we can help with. So with supply rates, with community solar. And so that's where we apply the discounts. Okay, great. That's fantastic. When do we get the upfront bonus? The next week after that customer becomes a qualified customer, right? So it comes the following week after they become qualified, the points kick in, and you're going to get paid right away, guys. All right. So I think that is, the nation will be, Justin says, when do you think the whole nation will be fully community solar? Not soon enough. I mean, I would, who wouldn't want to have this available? I would love to have this available in Texas. I mean, we've got plenty of room. We've got plenty of sunshine. We have no community solar. And so, yeah, it's one of those things, but it's
there are 23 states now that support the legislation, and that's really increased over even the last 18 months. And so once the legislation's there and in place to incentivize these developers, then the developers start showing up, they start building out the projects. And so 23 states, that sounds like a big difference in the 8 that are available now. So very soon, a lot.
So guys, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, we're in 8 states right now with community solar, 9 coming soon. So we've got a lot of work to do. And Tammy said 20, what did you say, 23?
23, yeah.
23 legislation has passed already that we're going to be able to move into in the near future. So let's capture as much market penetration as we possibly can in the 8 we're in immediately. Then let's go after the 9 we're about to open. And then the remaining out of the 23, guys, we have a lot of work to do before all 23. And who knows, that's just the tip of the iceberg. More are going to be opening up after that as well, once the legislation is passed. So we've got a huge future ahead of us right now with community solar, guys. And ladies and gentlemen, community solar is one tool in our toolbox. This is a big tool. This is going to be great. I live in Florida. Okay, here's the irony. I live in Florida, which is called the Sunshine State, right? Well, we don't have community solar down here yet. So I, like smart Nick, a year ago, spent $50,000 and put panels on my roof. Yeah, about that. I wish I had community solar, right? Can I go back in time and get these off my roof? I love the clean energy. I love the energy. I'm saving, I think I'm saving 2/3. I'm paying 1/3 of what I used to pay to my utility because of the panels, right? But with community solar, you don't even need to do that. Like, it's nothing. There's no enrollment fees. There's no connection fees. There's no big loans you have to take out for tens of thousands of dollars and all that stuff. Guys, it is an absolute no-brainer. If you are in any of the current 8 states we're in right now, go talk to everybody. Number 1, enroll yourself. Just going to say that. Number 2, go talk to every single person you know that has a heartbeat and talk to them about saving money. It is a guaranteed 5 to 30%. No question about. I'm preaching. You're right, Justin. Because God, this is a no-brainer. If you live in any of the 8 states, or you know anybody that lives in any of those 8 states, go talk to them tonight. Get off this call. This is my action plan to all of you in the field. Okay, this is my action plan. Get off this call and go contact at least 5 people that you know that want to save money on their electricity bill, which should be the 5 first contacts in your phone. Just saying, right? So I think that
I see a few more. If you don't mind, I'll jump in. I saw a couple more questions in here. I saw a note. Lars asked about on-demand meters, and the answer is yes. Submit it, get it in there. There are some of these farms that will take the meter types, and so. And I'll say this, Nick, tell me if I'm overstepping, but if you're not sure, put it in, let the expert qualify these things, right? Even if, you're concerned that it might be too large on the commercial side, anything, let's get it in, let's see what we can do. I do work directly with these providers in a lot of cases just to, hey, can we get this in? And so we're going to do everything we can on our end to make sure every meter type's accepted. Someone else asked if if you can sell to apartments or where there's no roof, where they can put panels. And the answer is, yeah, there's no roof required for this. You're not putting anything on your roof. You're not doing any equipment. You're changing nothing. You are signing up through this website to receive a portion of your energy through panels that are in this farm in your community, and you're getting a discount for that. So yes, apartments, renters, it doesn't matter the dwelling type, everyone is available there in that market. So yeah, get them all in.
Here's an interesting question. Who said that? Here's an interesting question we got on Facebook and on Zoom. Can we sign up people who already have physical solar panels on their roof?
Yes. So in some cases, like you, Nick, where you're paying 1/3 of your bill right now, so customers that may not have battery storage for their solar, or that still have a portion of their bill that's going through a supplier or through the utility, they would qualify for the community solar discount as long as that usage is over the $1,500 minimum per year. So, you know, Nick, you may not be using 1,500 per year. How awesome is that? But if you are and there are community solar available, then yeah, you could offset that. Obviously, 10% of a tiny number is a smaller number, but yeah, sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. That's awesome. All right. Excellent. All right. I think that's good, guys. I think we answered a lot of questions tonight. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to myself, Tammy, Debbie Lee. Most of you have our email addresses, so you can go ahead and reach out to us with any questions you have. And as always, a backup is going to Vive support. They're always there to help with anything you need as well.